Welcome to the Binge List. I'm your host, Paul Chappell, and today I am reviewing the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, a Coen Brothers movie. And I have to say, guys, this movie is weird. Now, I know saying a Coen Brothers movie is weird is about as useful as saying a Quentin Tarantino movie is violent, but this movie is weird. It starts out with a musical number with Tim Blake Nielsen, who is alumni of the Coen Brothers School of Filmmaking.
Cool, clear water.
It also stars Stephen Root, another alumni, playing a kooky character, which is, now that I think about it, it's kind of weird because I did a review of Man in the High Castle the other week, and I totally didn't mention that he's the man in the high castle. But he's in this film. You got James Franco in the film. You got Liam Neeson, so you got some star power in the film. But yeah, I came away thinking this movie was very weird because for months now, we've been getting rumblings on the internet that the Coen Brothers were going to do something for Netflix. A lot of people thought it was going to be a mini-series. And what they actually ended up doing was sort of like a mini-series, but not really. They took 6 short stories and put them all in one big movie. And I can't say any of the stories are even really related to one another unless death is the theme that unites all these stories, because there is a lot of death in this movie. So if you like happy endings, this probably is not the movie for you. If you like Westerns, though, this movie has everything, every archetype you could think of when you think of a Western. It's got cowboys and Indians. It's got stagecoaches. It's got saloons. It's got desert. And it's got gold prospecting. The Coen Brothers seem to be, really fascinated by Westerns. I mean, this is not the first Western they've done. They did a remake of True Grit, of course, and they also did a movie I consider a Western, the No Country for Old Men, even though it's not in the right time period, but it's very much a Western. You see a lot of directors who are fond of Westerns. You see a lot of influence of Westerns in modern day filmmakers. Like I said, I've already mentioned Quentin Tarantino, big fan of Westerns. He's done at least 2, I think, so far. Even people like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, you can see the influence of Westerns throughout the Indiana Jones series. Even with Star Wars, with George Lucas, you can see the influence. You go into a Western, find a saloon, you take out all the human characters and put in aliens, and you got the cantina scene in Star Wars. There's even a scene near the end of Star Wars where Han Solo is coming out of the sky with the sun in his back. Well, that shot was influenced by Westerns with, cowboys coming out of the sun to blind their opponents. And George Lucas has said that in the interview. So Westerns have a big influence in film culture, and the Coen Brothers, they revisited all those archetypes in something resembling a Western, although I have to say it's very, very dark. And, the Coen Brothers are known for their black comedy. Well, there's some of that, but on the whole, it's just every episode in this series is very dark, except for maybe 2. I have to say, the one that opens the movie and another one called All Gold Canyon, which is actually an episode based on a Jack London story of the same name. I haven't read the story, so I don't know how it compares to the Jack London version, but it was actually pretty, if not uplifting, it kind of had a happy ending to it. So, but on the whole, if you don't like being depressed, if you don't like seeing characters die, you probably want to stay away from this. There was just so much killing. I mean, it is rated R, and but there was some just a few scenes in this movie that just stuck with me ever since I watched it, which was actually yesterday. But like I said, on the whole, it's worth watching if you're a student of film. It's just a beautiful, beautiful movie. Even though they shot it reportedly on digital, every scene is it's just beautiful. The Coen Brothers, they're just masters at composing scenes. You could teach a class basically from just watching this film because the mise-en-scene, the lighting, the acting, and even the dialogue is very authentic.
I do hail from Riata Pass, which is in the county of San Saba, being the which why the San Saba songbird is my sobriquet of preference. But right now, I'd appreciate it if you'd deposit your weapon in the receptacle by the swinging doors, which concealing of it on your person in the first place was a violation of the rules of this establishment and an offense against local norms.
So I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed most of the performances. But like I said, it's very dark. And some of them are, some of the vignettes are very depressing. But if you want structure, if you want a 3-act structure, the only episode that comes close to giving that is The Girl Who Got Rattled, starring Zoe Kazan. And in fact, that's a still from that particular episode. It's following a wagon train to Oregon on a famous Oregon Trail. But for the most part, you're not going to find a lot of plots. You're not going to really see it tied, the episodes tied together at the end. There is a scene in Stagecoach where these characters are ruminating on death and two types of people in life. And you might have seen this in the trailers, but the bounty hunters in the Stagecoach said there's dead and they're alive, but the other passengers in the Stagecoach disagree with them. They have their own philosophies about what it is to be human. But I don't know, it gets philosophical at the end, but I wouldn't say it ties all the episodes together like, say, a movie like Pulp Fiction did. But it is interesting. And there are some themes I'm sure I didn't pick up on that I'll probably pick up on on a repeat viewing. But I guess the question you're probably asking yourself, should I binge this? And like I've already said, if you are a student of film and filmmaking, yes, you should binge this. And if you're a Coen Brothers fan, you should especially binge this. But like I said, if you like closure, if you like happy endings, if you like plot, if you like a easy to follow along 3-act structure, then I would say no, you probably don't want to watch this. So that's pretty much it. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I can't really think of anything more to say. But if you like this episode, please subscribe. I need some subscribers, people. And, a couple of likes would help out too. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give me a couple of likes. And that's all I got for today. And I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.